Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Guy on Board Game Geek, bringing you episode 5 of our playthrough of Darkest Night, where we are getting our tails whooped, or I am rather, with bad dice rolls and just bad stuff happening to us. So it's going to be nothing short of a miracle if I actually win this session. So we're going to get going to it right away, though. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of back-to-back filming, so if I made a couple mistakes, I just kind of have to pass over them, and I'm sorry for that. But I know I'm not making too many big ones. Game flows pretty smoothly. I may have missed a couple of things here and there, but typically, like to deal with a blight or something. But typically, I think I'm doing okay. All right, let's get right to it. So we're going to start with our players' turns. Now, our Mesmer, he's up here in the mountains. He's got a couple blights up there to deal with if he stays there. So let's draw his event card. He's the only one that's actually in any decent form right now. So we'll start with him, get him going, draw his event card, and see what happens. We've plowed through the event deck. I normally don't get that deep in it. Twilight compared to the Darkness track, which is a 10. So 0 to 14, exhaust a power or lose a secrecy. We just gained all that secrecy back. Well, that's what we're going to have to do. So we can exhaust power. I think he'll exhaust a power. He's going to exhaust Dreamer's Focus, activate on a hero. There's no other heroes with him, so he'll exhaust that. That way he doesn't lose the secrecy. And we can make a decision on whether or not we're going to want to tackle one of the blights in that area or run away to do something else. If we do, he'll go down to a 2 secrecy. Maybe he can attract the Necromancer to the mountains and destroy a blight. In fact, I think the blight that he's going to destroy is going to be the corruption. I think he's going to do that. He's going to try and get rid of this corruption because you can't use bonuses there, and that's bad for all the players. Wouldn't hurt if he could search too, but we haven't. We might do this instead and just deal with the blights that are there, and that way he won't lose his secrecy either. Pilfer secrets, exhaust and search. If you succeed, you gain a. If you succeed, you gain a clue. If you fail, you gain a treasure chest, which gives him powers. We could do that. We don't have anything else that enhances his ability to search. Or we could fight. I'm debating. Do we fight the blight or do we got to get rid of blights. He's going to go to the monastery because we cannot have another blight appear at the monastery. We've got to take care of the ones in the village. And that's going to be really hard to do considering all that's going on. He's not going to the monastery or the village, that's for sure. Well, why wouldn't he? Well, because he's going to lose the secrecy for going there. The spies are still there, which are going to cost us a secrecy. There's an Enigma and Oblivion, which forces us to exhaust a power each turn we're there. So we've got to go in there and force and just destroy a bunch of blights as fast as we can. But I think, well, let's tackle a blight so we possibly draw the Necromancer that direction, because he kind of needs to. We've got to get him to the mountains. Mountains in the forest, in the swamp. There's 2 locations with 3+ blights, and we got to get away from those. So he's going to do that. He's going to try and destroy the corruption there. Now his ability of Consume Dreams gives him 3 dice, but if he rolls two or fewer successes, he exhausts that power. So we're going to roll 3 dice there. And does he want to? He doesn't have a spark, so it's just going to be a dice roll. He failed at all of them. So not only do we exhaust that, but typical of our luck in this game, we did nothing useful. Okay, well, there goes the Mesmer's beautiful turn. He is down to 2 secrecy. Maybe he can be useful in attracting the Necromancer. Okay, well, let's go to where the other 3 players are and start with them. But before that, he has to evade the shades there. He's going to fight them with 1 die. He's only got 1 die, but it's a 3. He succeeds, so he doesn't take any damage from the shades. And that will actually conclude the Mesmer's turn. Okay, now though, we're over here who do we want to start with? Let's see. Let's start with our Acolyte. So first we're going to draw his event card. A shambling horror. We're going to compare it to his secrecy. Yeah, those guys up there, not well. Actually, the Acolyte's got a 3 secrecy, so it's 0 to 3. It's a Slayer, so it's got a attack of 6 and an evasion of 5. What will he do? He probably should. Well, he doesn't have any special evasion abilities, so I guess he's going to attack it. That means he needs a 5. Sorry, a 6. 6 to attack it, but he gets 3 dice if he chooses. Of course, if he rolls a 1, he loses a grace. He's only got 1 grace. What do I do there? Well, if he evades, he loses a grace anyway, right? Yep. So 1 dice, maybe losing a grace. He'll evade. He's got a chance of 5 or greater. Let's see if he can do it. He did not, of course, because I don't make any rolls in this particular session. That puts him down to a 0 grace like the rest of the guys. He's in serious trouble. And then for his turn, we're going to try and complete, well, I got to heal these guys somehow. Well, we're going to try and complete the fugue. The reason I want to complete that one is it gives him an epiphany, which will allow him to draw a power immediately, but if he dies, it's not going to help very much. Let's do that. He's going to try and complete the fugue. It says here, roll 1 die for each die that is a 5 or better, because he can't spend an epiphany, and not an epiphany, a spark, and he's going to, so he gets 2 dice. If he can roll a 5 or better, then he will succeed. Hey guys, I went and got some additional extra dice just to see if it's the dice that are if maybe they're weighted wrong or something, because they just seem to roll really low all the time. And we'll see. We're going to try and solve this fugue quest. Let's roll and see what we get. So 5 seat, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So we solved this quest. And what does the quest say? It says, traces of dark magic are striking and incapacitating people seemingly at random. Solve the riddle of their appearance before one of your own is stricken. Well, we just needed 1 success, and we got it. And it gives us an epiphany. An epiphany is not an item token or anything like that. It means we get to search our deck. Now, this was the Acolyte, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it the Mesmer? No, it was the Acolyte, right? The Acolyte. Yep. And we get to search his deck, his power deck, and see which one we want. So I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to take this one. False orders. Move any number of blights from your location to one adjacent location. If this does not result in over 4 blights at one location, that's a really good power for him, and we need it. So finally, with a set of different dice, we had a little luck, and that's going to end the Acolyte's turn. He's still there. Now, he is at 0 grace as well, but at least he has some secrecy. Whew, okay. But now he's got to deal with the skeletons that are there as well. They are a fight of 4. He's going to use his tactic. So he's going to get to fight with 2 or 3 dice. He'll choose to fight with 2. Man, he could die right here, but let's see. Let's hope he doesn't. Oh, he rolled a 5. Okay, these dice are bigger. They're knocking the front of this off because I don't have it glued on. Okay, so he rolled a 5, so he succeeded. That's 2 successes in a row with these dice. That's better. And he did not die. That's a good thing, right? All right, let's move on from his turn then. Forgot when the Ranger goes to ground, he loses a grace. He goes to ground and gains a secrecy. So he's lost 2. So he's actually at 3 secrecy right now. He could probably stay safe for the moment. Maybe can he complete one of these other quests? Well, he can spend a secrecy to deal with the collaborators and complete that immediately. So let's, of course, first draw his event card there. And no, they don't share event cards just because they're all in the same space. So he found a tracker. He's going to fight or elude. It says, win the fight, lose a secrecy. Win, elude, no effect. Failure, lose 2 secrecy. Well, he's going to elude then because there's no effect and he doesn't want to lose a secrecy. So, and he's got his Race the Hair ability as well. So we're going to try and do that. He needs a 5. We're going to pick up these 2 dice here, see what he gets. Come on, buddy. A 5! He succeeded! Man, that's again 3 successes in a row. Just had to change out dice. Okay, I wonder if those dice are weighted wrong. Because I think they're dice they just threw into the prototype of the game. Anyway, win, elude, no effect. So he did not, and he didn't roll 6, so he doesn't have to leave the area, which means I think he will spend one of his secrecy to complete the collaborator's quest, which gives him a treasure chest. This isn't what we need to win the game, but at least we're clearing these out so we don't get these horrible things happening, like each hero drawing an event card. It says people accuse each other of aiding the Necromancer. Uncover the truth before they tear each other apart, or the real collaborator completes their plans. Well, if we found the collaborator and we got him, we spent 1 secrecy for 1 success, and that's all we needed, and we get a treasure chest, which we'll spend immediately, which allows us to draw a power card off of our deck. So, what do we get? We get Forgotten Ways, plus 2 dice when searching in the ruins. Well, we know where we're going. Okay, and then he's going to have to deal with the skeletons there, and the spies, so he loses another secrecy. He's down to 1 now, that's not good. And actually, so the Acolyte is down to 2, I forgot about him. And we're going to roll a couple of dice. He succeeded again and did not deal with the skeletons, or have to deal with the problem of the skeletons. That is good. And that is going to be the end of his turn. So the last but not least, we have the Mercenary. The Mercenary is seriously hurt. I'm worried about him not making it. He doesn't really have anything to protect himself with. His secrecy is at 0. He's got to move. But first we have to draw an event card for him. What do we get? Guarded Trove, a 6/6. Win, lose 1 secrecy, and draw a research result. Fail, a fight. Fail fight, we lose a grace. Fail and elude, spend 1 secrecy, or draw another event. I think, well, we're going to have to fight. But if we lose a grace, he's dead. So we'll do that. We're going to fight, because that also he gets the bonus of fighting as well. If he fails, we can't have him fail. Oh, it's after destroying a blight. Okay, let's do it. Okay, he's going to fight using his military style tactic, which gives him 2 dice. He's going to spend his 1 remaining spark to give him a 3rd dice and see if he can succeed against this guy and get a draw search there in the location he's at. A 6! Oh yeah, he did it! Oh man, I'm glad I changed out dice. Wow. So he barely made it. Got 1 of those successes. Now what does that do for him? It does a couple things actually. So the first thing is he won. So he's going to lose a secrecy, which really doesn't matter because he's already hit 0. And he gets to draw a search result. So hopefully it's something good. On the map we're going to draw a search result at the castle, which is going to be a cache, a treasure cache or whatever they call it, just a supply cache, which means he's going to get to draw 2 of his abilities and keep 1. There's the 2. Let's see what he got. He gets Plunder. When any hero at your location receives a quest reward or a search result, they may choose after seeing the result to get a supply cache instead. That's pretty good. And Exotic Style. Fight with 3 dice. If you fail, suffer the failure effect twice. Well, that's not great. But I think it does give him the ability to fight with 3 dice. But that's pretty... I think we're going to take that one, the Plunder. And then we'll shuffle this back into his deck. And he survived. Now, he does, though, have to survive. Let's see, does he have anything else? Nope. No, he does not. Not anything else he can do. Just everything's after you destroy a blight. Okay. So, the next thing he's going to do is he's going to try and survive the skeletons. Let's see if he can do that. He doesn't have anything special, so we're just going to roll for him. A 4. He did. Man, I thought it was a 5 for a second, but it's a 4. Okay, it's these 2 numbers. So he survived that in his fight against the skeletons, and that is going to end his turn. And that ends all of our players' turns. So that is no bueno, because now it is moving on to the Necromancer's turn. So we still have 1 quest, Making Waves. We still have that one here. We got to put another quest token on it. We got only 1 more turn to complete that. If we expired, all heroes lose a secrecy. Well, that's not going to hurt us all that much since we're mostly at 0 anyway. And then we also increased the darkness track up to 11. It's at 11 now. So I've done that. And then we move the Necromancer. See what he rolls. He rolls a 5. That's a good thing. Now, you saw a whole bunch of guys, but remember, we still got our Blinding Black. So our Acolyte's going to use this. Exhaust after Necromancer movement roll to prevent him from detecting heroes regardless of secrecy. So that means he'll move in the direction. We're going to exhaust that. That moves the Necromancer in the direction of the roll instead. And so he'll put a blight there. That's okay. That's not the end of the world. And we're going to put a blight in the swamp. It's going to be shades. So we're going to put a set of shades in the swamp. Do I even have any left? Let me look. Hold on. Yes, here are the shades. There they are. 3, 5. And they're going to be here with these skeletons in the swamp. we get just the slightest tad bit of a reprieve, and maybe we can go tackle some things in the village. I don't know. Okay. We've got to get to the village and take care of that, take that stuff out. You know, we do have the new ability of false orders, move a number of blights from your location. So if we move the acolyte there, we can spread the wealth just a little bit, or rather spread it out so we're not immediately in trouble. Or you can get over to the monastery and move that. Well, no, the Mesmer is going to go to the monastery and take out that one that's actually in the monastery. Okay. Let's wrap back around to that was it for the Necromancer. Let's wrap back around to the player's turns. We've got a lot of choice to do. Let's start with the Mesmer. Okay, here's the Mesmer. Let's draw his event card and see what he gets. Desperate Bargain. Choose one. Destroy a blight or draw a power card or raise your secrecy to the default. Then choose one. Spend 2 grace or discard an item or +1 on the... Well, I think I know what we're going to do. We can discard a blight or draw a power. Destroy a blight. Draw a power. Or raise your secrecy. Okay, our Mesmer is going to destroy a blight. He's going to destroy one in the village. He's going to destroy the Oblivion that's in the village. And he'll raise the darkness track up to 12. Unfortunately, that's... I think the best thing we can do. That was not a bad thing. That was the Mesmer's doing right there. So that got rid of a blight for us. Now, the Mesmer is then going to move to the monastery for his action, which will increase his secrecy up to 3. And where he's going to... I'm sorry, he is at... Yeah, up to 3 for the Mesmer, where he will then end his turn. Not a really active turn, but it's going to help us. So then he can rest up to... He can get some healing back. Well, actually, he's fine from a health standpoint. The Mesmer's okay. He's just going there to take out that blight and do some cool stuff and refresh his powers, etc. Okay, now we're going to go to, let's go to the Acolyte. Well, now that the Acolyte has gotten rid of, well, let's draw his event first. What do we get? Lose a grace. Just lose a grace. Anathema. Okay, so he is down to 0 grace now. That is not good. We've got to get everybody back to the monastery at some point, don't we? He does, however, have 2 secrecy. If he moves to the village, he'll gain 1, but he'll lose 2, possibly. Or he can move, but he's got 0 grace, so he doesn't want to fight. I think he's going to have to move to the village. He still has his ability to ignore. Doesn't he have that still open? He does not. It's tapped out. So what he might do is hide. Hide will increase his secrecy and bring back his powers. The Acolyte is going to hide. That puts his secrecy up to 3 and redoes his blinding black and dark veil power, to which he will use the dark veil power as a reaction. It's a bonus. It's exhaust at any time to ignore blight's effects until your next turn. So he's going to do that so he doesn't have to deal with the 2 blights that are there. So he does that, and he just sits there for the moment, and that's going to be his turn. But that put him up some secrecy so he's not as likely to die. And then next turn he'll move, he'll have a 4 secrecy. Okay, let's go on to our Ranger. Okay, let's draw the Ranger's event card. Host of Haunts. Compared to his secrecy is a 1. So it's going to be the Phantoms. Wow, he's not going to get hurt, but he could lose a turn. He needs to roll 6. He's going to elude, because then he might be able to move and then move again. That would be outstanding. So we're going to get the dice bowl out. We're going to elude. He's going to use his race the hair tactic. He does not have any sparks. He needs to roll a 6. He did not. So he did not elude. That means he loses his turn. Boom. That's it. That's all that happened, and he is done. Bad news for us there. Now he still has to deal with the blights that are there, so he will again elude. So he loses a secrecy for the spies. So he's now down to 1 secrecy, and then, sorry, no, 0 secrecy rather. And now he's going to try and elude the skeletons. He did elude the skeletons, so he doesn't die, but he's got 0 secrecy, so the Necromancer is very likely to come his way. Except that the Acolyte can do the blinding black again, so we'll see. We'll see how that works. However, that was it. That's his total waste of a turn. Now we got the Mercenary, again at 0 grace and 0 secrecy. Let's draw his event card. Latent spell. Lose a secrecy, then spend 1 grace or discard this event without any further effect. He can't do either. Man, that's too bad because this actually is all good stuff if he could have done it, but he can't do any of those. So he chooses not to. That's the end of that. Now, what does the skull token do? It says discard during the Necromancer's roll to move him to any location. That's pretty good. Let's see if we can. We need 3. We've got no tokens on this. What do we got to do? We got to exhaust a power to gain 1. So he could exhaust 3 powers and gain, or he could attack a blight. We're going to lose that. We're going to lose that. And if we lose it, all the heroes are going to lose secrecy, which really doesn't hurt us because we're all at nothing anyway for the most part. Well, but if he exhausts 3 powers and takes that on, bam, we're going to get that skull, which allows us to control the movements of the Necromancer. Seems like it might be worth it. Because then I can move him to the forest there, or keep him in the swamp. Or go to the mountains, because I'm trying to keep the blight production lower. But if he stays there, he can't lose any more secrecy to the spies. He's already at 0. He'll have to elude or fight the skeletons, so he needs to keep his tactic. Okay. Yeah, he's going to do it. He's going to exhaust Drums of War, Spoils of War, and Plunder. So now he's got all but his military style exhausted to complete making the Waves quest. And it does say you can do it repeatedly. Exhaust 1 power to gain during the action phase. You may do this repeatedly. So he did. So he completed this. He's going to get a skull token. An evil spirit spell is homing in on the heroes. Make some mystical noise to send it in the wrong direction. Well, he did. He succeeded at making the noise. And now he's going to get a skull token, which looks like this, which will allow him to possibly control the Necromancer. But that is the Necromancer. That is all the hero's turn. We are losing badly. I mean, I'm not going to. We'd staved off some really bad stuff, but we are losing. So let's start the Necromancer's turn. Darkness track goes up to Darkness track goes up to 13, almost at 14, where he'll gain another darkness power. That's bad. And then we have no more quests on the board, so that's a good thing. So we're just going to go to the Necromancer's movement roll. I'm going to roll. We got 2 things that can shift what he does. I'm going to roll and see what happens. Can't let him go to the castle, so the only thing that is going to matter is whether or not we use Blinding Black or use the skull. So let's roll and see what we get. We get a 1, actually. So what is a 1? Where does that take him? A 1 takes him to the castle anyway. So no, that's a 3. A 2, a 1. A 1 is going to take him down to the ruins where we'll put a 4th blight. So we're going to use Blinding Black. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him putting a 4th blight there. We're going to have to deal with it later. So we're going to use Blinding Black. He's going to tap that. That's the Acolyte, to force him to not see anybody. So he's going to move here where he'll drop another blight. And then next turn we can force him to go someplace where he won't drop a 4th blight. Or a 5th blight, rather. Okay, so we are in the ruins. So we're going to drop some wraiths there. Here they are. Wraiths. Ooh. They're, oh my gosh, fail, you lose 2. So that's where he's at. That's going to end his turn. Not too... God, we're actually managing to survive this encounter. Not by a whole lot. But now we got to get everybody back to the monastery. Okay. We're going to be using the skull next turn, that is for sure. Anyway, guys, that is 2 whole turns. I could do 1 more, I suppose, get a 3rd turn in. Let's do that. We'll take 1 more turn. We'll start with the character's actions. We're going to start with the Mesmer, who's in the monastery. The taint says you cannot gain grace. I assume that would also apply to the monastery, so before he does anything, he's going to have to fight it. Unfortunately, he does not have, I just realized, he does not have his Consume Dreams tactic. It is exhausted. So he's just going to have to roll 1 die and hope for a 5. Well, he doesn't draw an event card, so what can we do? Let's think. I guess we're just going to have to get lucky. Okay. 4. We did not get lucky, so he did not destroy the blight that was there. And that's going to be the end of his turn. So that was bad. I just had to try and get lucky with him and see if we could do something good, but we didn't. Alright, next up we'll go to the That was the Mesmer. So next up, let's go to the Acolyte, who can actually do some things. Even though he's at 0 grace, we don't want him going anywhere where he has to fight. But he's up here in the top at the castle. Much as I'd like him to stay there and search and maybe get a mystery, he's not going to. So let's draw his event card and see what happens. Okay, a Horde, wonderful, compared to a secrecy of 3. So it's going to be a large Horde. He's got elude for 5 or fight for 4. I guess he will... he doesn't have anything to elude, but he does have the ability to fight. So he's going to fight the Horde here with 3 dice, I guess. Where'd my other dice go? There they are. Okay, 3 dice. Let's see if he succeeds. A 4. No, he actually fails. Uh-oh. Okay, guys, well, our Acolyte has died. Now, what happens now? Well, his turn ends immediately, obviously. And the worst part about that is the darkness track goes up by 1 more, which puts us at 14. This gives the Necromancer his darkness card. Let's see what he gets. All-Seeing Eye. Heroes at the Necromancer's location combat him instead of drawing an event if their secrecy is not 0. They still lose 1 secrecy at the start of their turn. Wow, so I'm going to leave that down here because that is a permanent power of the Necromancer. He's now Sauron with the All-Seeing Eye. But what that means for our awesomely powered Acolyte is he has history. And we're going to remove him from the game. All of his power cards are gone. His character is gone from the game. And we're going to have to draw on the next turn, draw a new... I'm doing it random, so we'll draw a new random character. Now, that is it for him. So now we got the Ranger. The Ranger lost his last turn, but we're going to see if he can get to take a turn this turn. What does he get? Vile Messenger. Okay. He needs to elude with a 4, or fight with a 4, rather. He'll use his Poison Arrow, I guess. And that gives him... His Poison Arrow says he could hurt himself with that. Does he want to? Well, he's got to. He's got to do something. 3 dice. Actually, could just mean the Doom track goes up. So he's going to fight the... He needs a 4 or better. He's going to get 3 dice with his Poison Arrow. He got a 6, so he succeeded. If the number to succeed was equal to, and it's not, it was 2 better, then he would have suffered the effect anyway, but he didn't. So he got rid of the Vile Messenger. That is good. Now he gets to take his turn. What is he going to do? I think that he is going to... he does not... Okay, so he needs to make his way to the monastery. So he's going to use his power of tracking. So he's going to move and then search. So his movement is going to take him to here. He's going to move to here, to the mountains, where he will search. And the reason I moved him there is because the Necromancer... Well, we still have the Skull token to move the Necromancer, so maybe he'll move there. This is +1 search difficulty, though, meaning it's a 4. It's the same as the mountains. He might as well go to the mountains. So he's going to move to the mountains, right there, where he will search. He's going to get to roll 1 die. He does not get a bonus or anything like that. A little bit of luck. Let's see if he gets lucky now. A 5 he actually does. We get to draw a search card for the mountains, finally. All right, we are in the mountains. We're going to get the thing I wanted the least, probably, a Scion Stone, which allows us to put a token like we had with the Acolyte. We're going to take that token. I think we're going to put it on... A lot of my guys do not have the ability to elude, so he's going to put it on the Race the Hair ability. It's a tactic, so... Wait, can he put it on tactic? I got to look at that. Place on one of your powers during the hero's turn. Yeah, may use a tactic. Okay, so he placed it on his Race the Hair tactic. Okay. And then he exhausted his tracking ability where he was there, searched. Now there is corruption there. Exhaust all powers if he fights it, but he's not going to. He can't use any bonuses, which he hasn't. And then he's going to use his Race the Hair ability to elude the shades. So he's going to get 2 dice. He needs to roll a 5 or better, or sorry, 5 or better, or I could fight him for a 3 with the Poison Arrow. I think it's better to fight them. I was thinking if he rolls a 6, he could continue on to the monastery, but we're going to fight him. He did roll a 6, but that defended fended off the shades, but he used his poison arrow instead, so which is not equal to, so he did not roll equal to that, so he succeeded and did not get attacked by the shades. We actually survive another turn with the ranger. Yay! The ranger's making his way to the monastery to heal. Okay, and then the last but not least, we have the mercenary. Well, Mr. Mercenary, what are you going to do? He's exhausted all his powers. He could hide. He's going to lose the secrecy there anyway, or he could just move and deal with the consequences of the other. Yeah, he too is going to move to the mountains. That actually gave both him and the ranger a secrecy. It's not much. They're both at 1, but that's better than nothing. And then he's going to have to fight, use his tactic to fight the skeletons. And he's going to do that now. Let me, well, oh, you know what? Sorry, forgot to draw his event card. Okay, what do we get? We got Dilemma. Draw a quest and roll a location, then draw another quest and roll one die to determine its location. So we're going to get 2 quests. That's not bad. So that didn't really affect his turn at all. Quest number 1, closed in action. We just need to spend an action there. Completed, we get a waystone, which allows us to travel anywhere. A roadside inn was badly damaged in a skeletal attack. Help rebuild it and restore travel through the region. Okay, let's see where that goes. I'm not going to roll the Necromancer die for that. We'll just roll one of these. A 1. Those dice always roll a 1. So that is actually in the mountains there. And then we're going to draw one more. See what we get. Besieged. Ooh, fight versus 5. So there's a horde of monsters have surrounded a group of villagers in an old watchtower. Break through their lines and stage a rescue. Okay, let's see where that one ends up. A 3. So that's going to end up down in the forest. So 2 quests going on right now. Of course, they went on the last character's turn, so that's not great. But it's not the end of the world. And then we got 4 turns to do in each of them. However, I don't know if we will be, because we're all heading to heal at the monastery. If the besieged expires, it increases the darkness track by 1. And they both do. So we do need to take care of them. We have 2 characters there at the mountains that could do that. They just need to continue to be able to elude the skeletons, because it just requires an action. We could get a waystone for each of them. Or one of them, anyway. Okay. Alright, well that's the end of the hero's turns, guys. It's not fantastic. We're definitely going to be using the skull to manipulate the Necromancer's movement this turn. But first we have to, as we head on to the Necromancer's turn, we're going to increase the darkness track to 15. Man, that is going up way too fast. We're halfway done and we are nowhere near winning. I mean, we have 1 clue. We need 10 just to get 1 relic. That'll only give us 1 relic. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do this. I keep searching, but we're not getting what we need. So, anyway, next up we have to put a quest token on this quest and a quest token on that quest. And then we're going to roll for the Necromancer to see what he does. Let's see. He detects everybody because nobody has any clue where their secrecy is at. It's very low. So we are going to spend the skull, unfortunately, and we're going to move the Necromancer as far away as possible to the swamp, where he will drop a blight there. That's going to put 3 blights in the swamp. And it'll be a set of skeletons. Not too bad. That is there's 2 skeletons and shades in the swamp, so there's a fighting ground right there. Won't be going there anytime soon, I guess. Alright, well, that's going to end the Necromancer's turn. It's going to end our playthrough for this session. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, all that good stuff. Remember, my contest is still going. Just go to my playlist for channel updates and go back a couple, and you'll see the one where you need to post there to be eligible for the game drawing I'm going to do. And if I get to subscribers, I still need about 10 more to add a game for subscribers, and we got stuck at like $20 left to get to the next. I haven't looked today, so maybe it's over there now. $20 in donations to add a game on to the pile as well. And if that game gets added on, then I'm giving away a sealed, shrink-wrap, brand new copy of Arkham Horror, in addition to somebody else, in addition to the big bundle of games. So hopefully that happens. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will see you soon.